head was dumped here, the chest part of the body was dumped there, then the hands, that is the hands like this, was dumped here, then now through the foam
On the other
at
side.
the other side of the bush.
To see my people, you need to sit down and watch this video so you can learn. You can learn. Most of us used to trust our friends, maybe are not friends, that we will leave a particular location to go and meet him just to find great passion. You understand? So please like, comment, and subscribe into this. Thank you very much. I hope you will.
Have you ever trusted someone so much that you would move to a completely new town just because they promised you a better life? Well, this was the horrible fate that befell the victim in this tragic case. Okpeboro Aweroso was a 34-year-old man living in Sabama, a town in Bayelsa State, Nigeria. He was originally from Delta State but had been living in Sabama for some time. He knew the town very well, understood how things worked over there, and he had been watching a particular opportunity. The town was home to Isaac Jasper Borough College of Education, which meant there were always people who needed transportation. Students, teachers, and visitors moved around the area every day, and for someone in the motorcycle riding business, also known as Okada business, this was the perfect location to make good money. Okpeboro reached out to a friend back home. This friend, whose identity was not established, probably because of how things later ended up for him, was someone Okpeboro knew very well. They had history together, they trusted each other, and when Okpeboro made his speech, the friend listened carefully. Okpeboro painted a bright picture of the opportunities waiting in Sabama. He explained how the motorcycle riding business was flourishing in the town. He told his friend that with the college in the area, there were always customers who needed rides. The money was good, he said. The business was growing, he promised, and all his friend needed to do was come to Sabama, move in with him as a roommate, and together they would build something successful. The friend thought about the offer. Back in Delta State, opportunities may have been limited. Here was someone he trusted, offering him a chance at a better income, a new start, and the security of having a roommate who already knew the area. It seemed like the perfect opportunity, and after thinking it over, the friend made his decision. He would go to Sabama, he would move in with Okpeboro, he would start this new chapter of his life, completely unaware that his friend had already written the final page. The friend packed his belongings and made the journey to Sabama. When he arrived, Okpeboro welcomed him warmly. They were now roommates, partners in this new business venture, or so the friend believed. The room they shared was small but adequate. This was going to be their base as they built their motorcycle riding empire together. But Okpeboro had not invited his friend to Sabama just to help him. He had not made all these promises because he wanted to share his success. The entire invitation, the warm welcome, the talk of partnership and opportunity, all of it had been a carefully constructed lie. Okpeboro had brought his friend to Sabama for one reason only: to kill him. For 2 weeks, the friend lived in that room with Okpeboro, completely unaware of the danger he was in. But all the while, Okpeboro was waiting. He had a plan, and he was biding his time until the right moment came. The friend went about his days. He started working, building relationships with customers and neighbors, and feeling more settled in his new life. He had no idea that each day brought him closer to a very brutal end. After about 2 weeks, Okpeboro finally made his move. In the middle of the night, he picked up a pestle and attacked his sleeping friend on the head. The friend died in the attack, and piece by piece, Okpeboro cut apart the body of the man who had trusted him. He separated the vital organs carefully, preserving them for a specific purpose. These were not being preserved out of respect or for proper burial. Okpeboro had already made arrangements to sell these organs. He placed the rest of the body parts into separate sacks and prepared them for disposal. Very early the next morning, while most of the neighborhood was still asleep, Okpeboro began the work of covering up his crime. He took the sacks containing the body parts of his murdered friend and started disposing of them. He moved quietly, trying not to draw attention to himself as he carried his terrible cargo out of the room. But someone was watching. A neighbor happened to see Okpeboro that morning, moving about with sacks in the early hours. The neighbor's suspicion was aroused, but he did not confront Okpeboro at that moment. Instead, he waited and watched. Later that same day in the afternoon, the neighbor approached Okpeboro to ask about his roommate. Okpeboro had already prepared his story. He told the neighbor that his friend had traveled back to Delta State. Suddenly, there had been an urgent business transaction that required his immediate attention. It was a reasonable story, People travel for business all the time. But the neighbor was not satisfied. Something about Okpeboro's explanation did not sit right with him. Combined with what he had seen that morning, the suspicious activity with the sacks, the neighbor's instincts told him something was very wrong. He decided to take action. The neighbor insisted on seeing inside Okpeboro's room. Okpeboro tried to refuse, tried to keep him out, but the neighbor was determined. He forced his way into the room, and what he saw confirmed his worst fears. There were bloodstains everywhere. The neighbor knew immediately that Okpeboro had done something horrible to his roommate. Without hesitation, he grabbed Okpeboro and held him down. Okpeboro tried to escape, tried to talk his way out of the situation, but the neighbor was not letting go. He called out for help, and soon the local vigilante group arrived on the scene. The vigilantes took control of the situation. They secured Okpeboro and began questioning him about what had happened. With the evidence of blood all around them and the neighbor's testimony about the suspicious sacks, Okpeboro knew he could not deny what he had done. Before the police even arrived, Okpeboro had begun confessing to the vigilantes. He admitted that he had killed his roommate. He described how he had used a pestle to smash his friend's head in the middle of the night. He explained that after killing his friend, he had dismembered the body, but the most shocking part of his confession was what he revealed about why he had committed this terrible crime. Okpeboro confessed that he had sold his friend's vital organs to a pastor. This pastor, who was located in Port Harcourt in Rivers State, had bought the organs for ritual purposes. The entire plan became clear. Okpeboro had not invited his friend to Sabama to help him start a business. He had lured him there specifically to kill him and then sell his organs. The promise of the motorcycle riding business, the talk of opportunities, the offer of shared accommodation, all of it had been a trap right from time. His friend had walked into a death sentence, trusting the wrong person with his life. The vigilantes immediately contacted the police. Officers from the Sabama Police Division arrived and took Okpeboro into custody. He was transported to the State Criminal Investigation Department in Yenagoa, the capital city of Bayelsa State, where he was held while a full investigation was conducted. Community members who had heard about the arrest and confession began searching the area. They were looking for the remains of the victim, the body parts that Okpeboro had disposed of in those sacks in the early hours of that morning. The search led them into the bush near the town. There, they made the heartbreaking discovery. The Bayelsa State Police Command confirmed the arrest through their then public relations officer. He verified that Okpeboro Aweroso, a 34-year-old man from Ughelli North in Delta State, had been arrested and was being held at the State Criminal Investigation Department in Yenagoa for further investigation. He noted that the identity of the victim was still unknown at that time, a tragic detail that made the crime even more heartbreaking. The young man had died far from home, and his family might not even know what had happened to him yet. As the investigation continued, Okpeboro faced some serious criminal charges. The charges against him included murder, which carries the death penalty. He may have also faced charges related to the dismemberment of the body, the illegal sale of human organs, and potentially other crimes related to the disposal of the body. There are no reports that the pastor who bought the organs was ever found or arrested. This shocking case reminds us to always be careful about whom we trust. What are your thoughts on this horrifying case? Share your opinions in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel for more true crime stories. Also, check out other interesting cases on our channel. Thank you for watching.